Hello and happy, beautiful day to you. On today's Self-Healing Insight, I worked with a beautiful volunteer. Her name is Kim, and I just love her. Literally, she had me laughing out loud. Just a beautiful being, a fun personality, an absolute sweetheart. And what I also love is, of course, she was able to take her pain from a level 5 and get it gone. So it was a level 0, and she did that. Now, of course, it does take follow through, so I always want to emphasize that. But there were some really profound shifts, and that, of course, is what I want to share with you today, are 2 really powerful insights. Now, as we step in, I also want to say I love her heart and just who she is and the way she shows up. She's this florist in Austin, Texas, and just her energy. She loves her business and what she does, and it's so sweet. So I love her heart and how much she loves it. Now, at the same time, there's a part of her who's always wanting to do every single thing for it. And that's that's a part that she's going to need to work on. So that's where we're going today. So the first insight, and this relates to so many people I know, can feel a sense of feeling unsupported in life in different areas. Sometimes that might be a mother who's feeling unsupported. Sometimes it's related to work or life or whatever that is. Now, with our beautiful volunteer, there has been this feeling like she's not getting the support that she needs from people around her in her business, but just people around her in general feeling that way. And when I check her energy, as I checked in and as I was working with her, there was this feeling of also feeling like she's always been somebody who has needed to stand up and take care of things and be very, very independent, to get things done and be independent. And so there's a strong feeling of independence. Now, what I love is that as she started to shift this to a feeling of feeling good to have support, that's part of the change that needed to take place. Now, let me unpack this a bit more. On recent episodes, we've been talking about when somebody gets something linked up in the mind where there's a positive linked with a negative and the mind is miswired, that it can create problems. And the example, or the unfortunate example that you hear me use all of the time, is that unfortunately, maybe somebody who's a cutter, who's gone through a trauma and ends up cutting themselves, they can cut themselves and they can feel feelings of relief or euphoria or control or safety from cutting themselves. Now, of course, they didn't put it there on purpose. We can have absolute compassion, but my point is exactly that. The mind can get miswired. So where something gets linked up and a positive to a negative, and I see this all of the time, a negative to a positive, both directions. And so, for example, even on recent episodes, we've been talking about where somebody goes through a trauma and they say, oh, well, that was a blessing in disguise or a gift or what, and they link it up where they link up some type of negative situation to a positive. And the problem is then can affect their health, their life. It can perpetuate the problem. So in this case, our beautiful volunteer had it linked up in another way where she had always had to be independent to be able to make everything happen. And that was her survival mechanism. And she's created a beautiful business from it. And then as a florist, and just amazing flowers, amazing being. And then at the same time felt like support, like it's not safe to get support. And so what's beautiful is she's creating that shift. So that is key. And my point is that wherever you are in life, if you're feeling unsupported, you'll want to look at what's going on at a deeper level. Do you really feel like it's safe to be supported? Do you have that miswired mind? So that's one insight to share. Now, another insight is that she also had this feeling of hating money and then also stressing about it and then hating it and stressing about it. So even at one point when I said, okay, there's also some energy around money. Now, as soon as I said money, she said, I hate money. And I said, whoa, wait a second here. Wait. And we were laughing because she just has this wonderful sense of humor. But I asked her, of course, to start shifting her energy towards money because she had this feeling of stress regarding it. And so ultimately, that's the second insight that I want to share is exactly that, is that so often people can have a stress towards the very thing that they're wanting, but also a hatred towards it. There was this feeling of hating money. And so ultimately what we did is we started shifting it to a feeling of loving money and appreciating money. You know, so often people can get it linked in their subconscious mind that things like money is the root of all evil, or or something like that. So again, linked up something that they need. We need money for food, shelter, clothing, life, freedom, to enjoy, to be. Like when we stop and look at money in a healthy way, it's helpful for life. And so a way to think about money is like this. The way I like to think about it is just like barter papers, if you will, meaning that when we really think about what money is in its best positive form, it's this. It's that, before there was money or currency, people would trade. One person trades a wagon wheel for another person for some corn or some wheat or a horseshoe or whatever it is. But the problem is with that is you can only trade somebody who needs what you need. And so that becomes limiting. So, of course, having money allows anybody to trade with anybody around the world. So technically, money in its original form actually has brought more connection and fulfills people's needs. So it's a good thing. Now, does that mean everybody uses it in a positive way all of the time? It doesn't, but that's not true for anything. Some people use computers to work and to create their life and to connect with others and to do wonderful things in the world. And some people could use computers to hack into things. That doesn't mean all computers are bad. It just means that, everybody doesn't use everything in the perfect way, of course. So going back to money is not bad. It's good. It actually helps food, water, freedom, travel, connection with family, friends. Being able to do things, enjoy, eat, all kinds of things, and so having that positive energy towards money is of course key, because that is also part of her stress that has been going on. And so those are the two insights that I want to share. Now, as I mentioned, she was able to get her pain down, so she's actually been struggling and working and having a variety of different health issues and a variety of different symptoms. She's had psoriatic arthritis, and so that's what's been going on. And so there's other things that she's been dealing with. But the beautiful thing is she was able to see that as she started making changes with her mindset, her pain disappeared in a very short period of time. And she did it. Now, of course, there are other insights as well, but I just wanted to highlight these particular insights. So if you would like to get a deeper dive and actually listen to the full session itself, then you can click on the link in the show notes and you can listen to that actual session with Kim. And of course, if you are somebody who would like a deeper understanding of mind-body healing and how it works, there's also a link for free training in the show notes as well. And lastly, as always, I want to ask you, please do take just a quick moment to hit the share button on this episode. Share it with somebody you love, somebody you care about, or somebody you don't even know, because the more that every single person in our world feels healthy and happy and loved and loving, the better this world is for all of us. And so please do take a quick moment to hit the share button, and please do make a point to have an incredible rest of your day. I look forward to connecting with you on the next episode. We'll see you there.